Guys, I'm just doing a little series of That Was the Week That Was, which is just a little look back over the week and what's gone on. Now, I'll probably put these up on my chatback channel, but I might also put them on the cooking channel to start with, just to sort of get a feedback of what people think of the idea. You may have seen the falafels I made. The funny thing was I started making those falafels pretty early on in the morning and mid-morning, and then by the time with the filming and the making of the pita breads and the tahini, you're filming all this stuff and you're actually preparing dinner for that evening's meal. Well, it must have been sort of 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. I was still sort of chugging along, trying to get the last few takes and take the last pictures and photographs. And the family are all stood around wondering, you know, are they ever going to get fed? So while you actually see that video go up of me making the falafel, spare a thought for my family, who are having to wait as if their throats are being cut, hoping that eventually they're going to get fed. But today I actually did the upload of the Peking duck, and that was a bit of an interesting one for me. I've got a fascination with the Chinese culture. I absolutely love China. It's a wonderful place. The food is fascinating. Yeah, I really wanted to make Peking duck. I haven't perhaps done it as authentically as some people. Maybe some people will criticize, but then this isn't really about criticizing or whether you do it authentically. I've tried to do it with the equipment that we have. And it's really about producing a duck that's similar to that. And I have to say, what I made in the end tasted very similar to Peking duck that I've had. Now remember, guys, I often hear in the US people talk about Peking. Peking doesn't exist. Peking is a place that the colonials used to call Beijing, which is the capital of China. And yeah, Peking duck is really Beijing roast duck, but we still call it Peking duck, so I've used that. And then if you've got a chance to see also, I put up the video, or I will be putting up the video for these steamed pancakes. Now, in my rush to try and get a little bit of Valentine's done this week, I never got round to doing my pita breads. They're not up yet because I needed to do the red velvet cupcakes, which was a lot of fun. And thanks, guys, for watching that and your kind comments. I'm always really intrigued to hear what people think of the recipes. I get some really nice comments, which I'm grateful for. Now, I have a great friend on YouTube who's a musician, a very accomplished musician called Dave, who has a channel called Sorlin, which is an anagram of his real name. Sorry, Dave, I hope you don't mind me saying that. Well, he plays ukulele now. He and I both play guitar, and he does some fantastic ukulele lessons. If you ever get a chance to go to Dave's channel, and I'll put a link down in the description, get across there and say hi. If you're a musician, you know, get involved. And just, these guys, so many people put some wonderful tutorials up for music, and yeah, I just think that they deserve lots of praise, lots of thumbs up. They do a lot of work to put those up, and good luck to you, Dave. Good luck to a lot of the guitar tutors that are out there, a lot of you there. This is my uke, Dave. I think I was showing you the other day. That's what it sounds like. It's a really sweet, beautiful spalted mango body, and a lot of fun. Anyone interested in music, comments down below. It's a passion of mine. I enjoy it. On a sadder note this week, I was walking down the high street, and I came around the corner, and there was a guy who clearly, well, not clearly, but I thought it looked like he might have been getting himself and brushing himself up. He'd fallen. And as I got closer, I could see he was quite an elderly gentleman, a Chinese gentleman actually. And yeah, I could see clearly he had actually fallen, and he was brushing himself down, but he was also bleeding quite heavily down his shirt. I went over to him to see how he was, and he was a little shaken, but he was fine. He was okay, but he was heavily bleeding. He knocked his teeth, and from his gums he was bleeding quite heavily. He cut his hand. His sunglasses were all scratched, so he'd obviously fallen on his face. And I always feel really responsible for people when something like that happens, so I'm trying to help him, and his English was very basic, and my Chinese is extremely basic. So I was just making sure he was okay, and he was quite proud. He didn't really want too much help, but I just stayed with him long to see that he was fine, and offered to walk back home with him, but he didn't want to. So he started walking home, and I just kept an eye on him. I actually went along the opposite side of the street and just watched him in the distance. But yeah, sad. Just something that happened to me. I don't know what you guys think about helping people on the street. I think it's important that we get involved with our communities and take care of people. Anyway, the short of that story was he got home. I'm certain he was safe, and I'm sure he was just a little shook up and a little bit bruised, and he'll be fine. Maybe I'll see him again another day. It's been another scorcher of a week. We've had temperatures in the region of 35, 38 degrees Celsius. Now that in Fahrenheit, I'll put that up on the screen because that's pretty hot. And I keep seeing pictures of everybody else around the world having a wonderful time in the snow, and they're probably all cussing and wishing it wasn't snowing or it wasn't so cold. But I can tell you, when it's really hot, you really miss that cold winter's mornings, or spring. I love the really chilly spring weather that comes. Okay, I don't want it all the time. I'm sure I wouldn't want to give up the sun. I'm a great sun lover as well. I'd like to interact with people and also get them to ask if there's a particular recipe that you're interested in. Now, the channel started off, I've been doing fairly straightforward recipes and a mixture of some slightly more complicated, but as the year progresses, as the years progress, we've got quite a lot else. We'd like to do a lot more home curing products, and a lot more home curing, sausage making, bacon making. There's a lot yet to come, but if there's anything particularly you need some help with, something that's going wrong with the recipe, you want to look into it, I'm fascinated, and I'll just say hello to Anne at Easy Gluten Free. I mean, foods that people eat because of certain intolerances fascinates me as well, and I love the challenge of trying to make a food maybe that is traditionally not gluten-free, or something like that. So I'd love to hear from you guys. And how about also some of you doing a little video response? I know a lot of you don't like to type a lot. I'm not a big fan of typing, so just hit that video response and do a tiny little video, say hello. That'll be great. These little that was the week that was videos, I hope will just be fairly regular. Take care, guys. See you next week. I will be putting up the pita breads, and I will be doing other things, I'm sure. See you then.